Hi there, my awesome permaculture followers. My friend Kathy yesterday asked if we could share some of our books in a video with the rest of you. So to give you some, some inspiration, I'll just have a look at the books. We collect a lot of books. We try and purchase about 3 or 4 a fortnight to add to our library. There's way too many to share in a post today, so I'm going to do it by sections and do different videos each week, sort of gardening and some cooking, some vegan cooking. Today I'm going to start with self-sufficiency and homesteading books that we have. We also have a few books on Kindle as well, and yeah, a rather vast collection of books in our library already, which I might do a video of later on just to show you how many. What started Lindsay's and my journey obviously into sustainability was this first book, which isn't really a homesteading book, but obviously the Permaculture Guide. This one by Bill Mollison is sort of the Bible that we follow in this house that started our journey. It's obviously a heavy read, but is obviously a book that you can go back to and reflect on it at given times. In addition to that, obviously, is David Holgram, and this is his book as well, which we have more than one copy, which is also another fantastic permaculture book that is a great resource for a library, which we refer to as well. So with the homesteading books, I've got a collection here, some that are brand new that we've just purchased, and some we've had for a really long time, which you'll be able to see by the state of the actual book. But there's no particular order, I'm just going to run through them. Some of them here are our favourites, I'll let you know, and some obviously that we just refer to occasionally. So one of the first ones here is The Joy of Home Distilling. So obviously distilling is something that's really important in permaculture and self-sufficiency, and something that Lindsay and I are going to start at some stage. We haven't actually started yet. We'd like to, when the orchard's up and going with apples, is to get some cider going. Neither of us actually drink cider, interestingly, so it's a really good resource to use for bartering. So we're actually when we go out occasionally now, we buy a cider to see which one we particularly like the most, because we've got no experience. So if you've got a favourite cider, feel free to post it below and let us know, and we'll give it a try. Root cellaring. This is one of my favourite books. Obviously a root cellar is really important, and this book has got some really fantastic information in how to build different types of root cellars, which is really fantastic. So it's a really good book to have to your collection. This is one of my favourites. One that I bought yesterday, which is why Kathy asked me to film this video, is this one here, which is The Forgotten Skills of Self-Sufficiency. So this is one of the books based on the ideas from the traditional Mormon pioneers. I have a keen interest in the works of the Mormon pioneers as well as the Amish. So being able to cook and prepare and build things without electricity is really important. It's one of the things that I'm really interested in learning more about. So these books, I've got a few Amish cookbooks as well, which I'll show in another video. But I haven't read this one yet, but it looks like it's going to be pretty good. Another one I haven't read yet that I've only just got is A Year Without the Grocery Store. So this is written by a lady who went through a cyclone in the USA. And also, I think from memory, she's from Ferguson, so she went through the riots as well a few years back. So she's written this book. It's quite an easy read by the looks of it. It's short and pretty big writing, so we should be able to nick that one up pretty quickly. Small scale grain raising is this one's. Lindsay's read this one. I haven't read this one yet. He's really interested in being able to grow grains on our property here, and that's something he'll be starting very soon, which is fantastic. So one of my very favourite books, and I actually bought a copy of this for my daughter for Christmas, is Attainable Sustainable. She's got a really good Instagram page and Facebook page too, if you want to check it out. This is fantastic. This is my go-to book. I use it daily. It helped me get started with kombucha, with sourdough, a whole heap of different things. It's got crafty stuff in there if you want to make your own beeswax wraps. if you think of anything sustainable wise, it's in here. This is a really good book. It's only $50, sent from America. It came pretty quickly. If you want to start off your sustainability journey with something really easy to read, it gives you, it's got pictures. Oops, I've got even notes in here. Pictures and everything in here to help you out, growing, etc. Give this one a go. So that's Chris Bordessa, but Attainable Sustainable. Check her out on Facebook and Instagram to start with. Pepper's Pantry, I'm starting to read through now, which is fantastic. So this is all about the type of foods you need to have in your pantry to sort of start you on the prepper journey. I'm going to talk more about that later for anyone that's interested in that portion of Lindsay's and my journey, which is prepping. And when people say prepping, they seem to think of like those doomsday preppers that are coming at you with knives and dogs, etc., with a fortress. But prepping can also be about just prepping for things that are going to happen around here, losing your job, a fire coming through, anything like that. You can be prepared for by having food storage or your garden veggies, your vegetable gardens ready, fruit forests, the whole lot. So don't think prepper and think, that we're these crazy nutty people. Prepper has a whole lot of different versions of that meaning as well. This book is still in its plastic, which is really sad to know about, but we will get there. So this is Edible Forest Gardens, obviously two different books here, which I will tell you about another day. We've actually opened them, but it's obviously about building food forests in permaculture wise. So another good resource to have. Quitting Plastic, nice little book here to help you out with removing all that disgusting plastic from your life and getting back to, even having whole foods and buying in bulk, which will remove a lot of those plastics. So a couple of these next couple of books are really old. We've had them for ages. So this is Your Own Resources, a practical guide to self-sufficiency in Australia. It's very well read and quite old, but another good resource to have. Australia and New Zealand, Complete Book to Self-Sufficiency, another really good one that we've had in a while. This one is How to Make Electricity from Wind, Water and Sunshine, which is fantastic. Another, on Netflix at the moment, they've got a really good movie, The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind, which we have his book on Kindle. It's also on Netflix at the moment. Check it out, it's really fantastic watch and a really fantastic read. And one of my very oldest books that we've had for years and years and years is The Australian Guide to Self-Sufficiency. So this is a really fantastic book to get your hands on if you can. It's a resource book. You're not going to read it from front to back, but it's going to come up with a whole different things for you to do about conserving and preserving foods and such. So they're the books I've got at the moment on homesteading and self-sufficiency. We add to them every week, obviously. I hope you enjoyed this, everyone, and Kathy, thank you for suggesting these videos. I think it's going to be really helpful and it's fun to do as well. So add any questions or comments below if you'd like to, any particular genres of books that you'd like to see from our house. Otherwise I will start with another one in a few more days. Thanks guys, happy preserving.